Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I've got something super cool to share with you. A viral toggle animation that's been making waves in the developer community. If you are a fan of smooth animations and UI elements that just feel right, this one's for you. In this video we are going to dive into how to build an animated toggle switch from scratch using React.js and Tailwind CSS. I'll be walking you through the entire process step by step. By the end, you will not only have a beautiful toggle switch but also a deeper understanding of how animations can be seemingly integrated into your React components. So, what makes this toggle switch stand out? Well, it's not just a simple on and off switch. It's a toggle that transitions between light and dark modes with fluid animations. As you click on it, you will notice smooth movements, shadows, and even background elements like clouds and stars that animate into place. All of these details work together to create a delightful user experience. So let's just dive into the code. Building our animated toggle switch. First thing first, we will set up the main structure of the component. We are going with to use React's use state to manage the toggle state. This will allow us to switch between light and dark mode. Let's name it is dark and set its initial value to false. Now we will work on the main div that will act as the main container for the toggle switch. We will give it some predefined classes for width and height and padding. These are the values that I previously experimented with to get the right dimensions. Here, the relative will set its position. Inline flex will help align the items inside it. Now here's the width and the height that I got while I was experimented with it. Then we will have some transition classes to ensure smooth animation when the state changes. So here are the classes. Rounded full will make it circular at the edges. Also, the background color of the toggle is dynamically set based on is dark state. So that's what we are doing right now. If is dark is true, the background turns to gray color, and otherwise it will be of blue color. So that's what I'm setting right now. So here it is blue, that is bright blue 400, and here's the main container. Now next we will add an on click event listener to the div. Every time the user clicks on it, the toggle, it will flip the is dark state from true to false or vice versa. This will trigger the color transition we just defined. Oh sorry, I just missed the duration, so let's put it in. Duration will be 500 milliseconds. So now it will change right. From this website, we'll take out the box shadow that I like and copy it, and now we will use it here. The shadow adds multiple layers of the depth both inside and outside of the button. It's subtle but really makes the toggle stand out. So here are how we will use this box shadow. Now you can look, it is looking good. Now we'll start working with the inner divs. This div will be the yellow circle that moves back and forth when the state changes. Here we are defining the classes that is absolute, that will set the position of it, and width is equal to 14 and height is equal to 14. Rounded full, which will make it a perfect circle, and flex items will make the items inside of it align centrally, and we should make it overflow hidden as we will be adding other features after it, and bg color will be yellow. So here's the yellow circle that moves back and forth. Now we want it to move back and forth, so for that we will create a function. Let's name this function calculate translation, and first we will take the parent width inside of it and child width and padding width. So let's take it. The parent width is 144 pixels as you will see, and then it will child width 56 and the padding is 16. So that's the width that we are taking. So as you can see here, 36 is 144 and the width, that width 14 is 56 pixel and the padding is 8 pixel, and 8 pixel from the left and 8 pixel from the right, then its total is 16 pixel. So now we will calculate the available width, that will be parent width minus padding. Now we will calculate the translation distance that the yellow circle can move, the child can move, that is available width minus child width, and we will return this translation distance. So it will be the translation distance that the yellow circle or the inner child can move. Now we will just take it out in to a constant, that is translation distance equal to calculate translation. Now we will use it in our styles, which will help us to move from left back and forth. For that we will use transform, and if it's dark color, then we want it to move to the right hand side, and if it's not dark, or that is dark is equal to false, then we want it to be on the left hand side. So for that we want it to be translate x will be the translation distance that we just calculated. So here's a style for that, and when is dark is false, it will be translation x0. So that's what I'm writing right now, translate x is 0. So that's the style to move it back and forth. As you can see, it's moving back and forth, and sorry, I forgot the transition styles. So transition all, and duration will be 500 milliseconds. So it will animate, move back and forth, so it's moving right. Now we'll work on other parts of the toggle switch, that is stars and the clouds. So first we will create a div, and inside the div we will take the image that I already have in our public assets. I will share the assets afterwards, or I will just share the GitHub account with you all, so you can take it out what are the assets that I have used. So I will take absolute, and the top and the right are predefined that I experimented while I was creating this animated toggle switch. So as predefined, you can set it when you will be creating it according to you. So transition all and duration will animate it, and if it's dark, then we will want to translate y. We want the clouds to move from 0 to downwards. So if it's dark, we want it to move in the lower direction, and if is dark is false, we want it to be in the initial position. So that's the pixels that I just experimented with, and I have set it. Now I'm using the asset, the cloud cartoon png that I have just downloaded. So here it is. It is overflowing the main container, so I will use overflow hidden in the main container, so it will look just right. So like it is working fine. Now we will add the stars similarly. I will adjust the top and left or right position of it, and also the translate y accordingly. What I experimented, you can just adjust it according to you when you will be creating it. So here's what I found out to be just right. So I forgot to change the asset, it's stars.png. So now stars are visible. So I forgot to change the top and right of the position. So here top will be 1 -1 and left will be 0. So here's the position of the stars that we want. So here it is. As you can see, stars are on the circle. We will just make the main yellow circle to be z of index 10. So the stars will appear in the behind it. So that's good. Now we will create these circles that are shown with opacity, with a lesser opacity. So I will create 3 divs with certain width. So I've set the width to be 36 for this and height to be 36, and I will take the use of translation distance to set the exact position of it and to move it from left to right. You will see afterwards. So here are the styles that I'll be using, and opacity is 0.09. This is very important. Transition all, and duration will be 500, similar to all. Now I will just make it translate from left to right. For that I will use styles and transform based on is dark state. So let's just put on the translate x direction, how it will move. So this is the predefined style that I just worked out to just make it fine. You can just experiment it how it will look good for your animation, for your toggle switch, and you can just take the use of translation distance that you calculate. So here's the first circle that I'll be creating. So I forgot the minus sign, and here, so is the first circle, and I'll create different circles similarly. Just copy and paste 3 times and just change the distance of translate. So it will be 40, it will be minus 20, then it will be minus 60, and it will be minus 40. It's a trend, same distance was there, so I just worked it out. So here's the main thing working. Now we want this moon to be visible. As you can see, this moon is inside of the yellow circle, so we'll make this div inside of the yellow circle. Here's the div, and we will make it class height is equal to full and width will be full to just occupy the whole space of it. So here are the classes we are using. Relative, as we want, there were 3 circles for it inside it, so we will be using relative and absolute position to set that up. So height, width will be full, height will be full, and transition all, duration will be same. Shadow, there will be a shadow inside of it. So here are the styles that I'll be using. PG gray will be 50 and rounded will be full. So here the circle, it will translate from left to right, so we will be use the same thing, style transform translate x. So while I am writing this, just don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And if any questions up until now or ideas for future videos, drop them in the comments below. I'll love to hear them. So let's just mark the styles to translate it from left to right. So I have just messed it up. I just wrote what I should have wrote in the opposite direction. So yeah, if it's dark, then translate x will be 0, and if it's false, then translate x will be translation distance. So let's just set it up, fix it. Yeah, so this is how it should be, and translate x will be here. So that was a mix up that I did. So here's the final code. Yeah, so now I'll be just putting on the circles inside of it using absolute and top and left, whatever may fixed it. So The whole animation is now created. Now I'm just typing the inner circles. So this is the whole video, and this is the animation that we were looking for. If you have any questions regarding what I did finding out the translation distance and any animation that was created in this video, you can just comment and type and ask me. I'll just solve all your questions, all your queries. So first circle is created, then the second circle I'm just setting the bottom left or top or left, it is here. Now the bigger circle will be created. So let's just create the bigger circle. Also write clean code like I have written. So bigger circle will be height 5, width 5, and just set the top to be 5 and left to be anything, I guess 2. So we have created the animation. Please subscribe and give a thumbs up for this video if you like this animation. Thank you.